وما يتقرب إلي عبد من عبادي بشيء أحب إلي مما افترضت عليه. None of my servants have come closer to me with something which is dearer to me than what I have made obligatory upon them. So wajibat, obligatory actions, are the things that make you closer to Allah, and they are the most loved ones, and this is why they have become wajib. But it's not enough just to perform wajibat. وَإِنَّهُ لَيَتَقَرَّبُ إِلَيَّ بِالنَّافِلَةِ, but then he would constantly get closer to me with recommended actions. Wajibat are important, very, very important, but they don't necessarily show how much we love Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, how much we are happy to, dedicate ourselves. In mustahabbat, you can prove your love. Mustahabbat are bigger tests, because it's not wajib. You are not going to, so you have just done it out of love. If, for example, I am employed to work 8 hours, and I work properly 8 hours, my employer would love me. But if I work more, which is not wajib, I come earlier, I go after, for example, everyone, this really demonstrates my commitment and my love for this job. If I, say to my, for example, child, please bring me water. He just brings me water. This is good, but this doesn't show his love. But if, for example, he knows that I like, cold water, or I like, hot water, and makes it with that temperature, then brings a nice cup, put it on, for example, a tray, for example, next to it, for example, some flowers, for example, maybe a little lemon there, for example. He knows I am thirsty, it's hot summer. These are showing love. But if he just brings, water, okay, that was wajib. So when Allah says salat, 17 rak'ah, and we just do 17 rak'ah, this is like just bringing water. But when you do nawafil, it's like bringing lemon, bringing flour, put it on a nice tray, giving with both hands. This is very important. So he would be constantly getting closer to me with nawafil, hatta uhibbah, till I love him. Of course, Allah loves everyone. So what does it mean, till I love him? It means that I love him without reservation. For most of people, Allah says, I love you, but I don't love this action. I don't love this quality that you have. But these are the people that Allah says, I love you. Either because they have stopped all the problems. This is a very important point. Either these are the people, for example, a student who has written the exam paper without any mistake. Teacher loves him. Or someone that is really working on all his or her problems. These are also the people that are loved without reservation, because they are already working and improving. You don't need to say, I love you, but I don't love this action. You have to stop. This habit you have to stop. No. When you see someone is wholeheartedly working on all his faults or her faults, you can say, I love you without reservation. This is my understanding. So the people who reach this position don't need to be perfect. They can be perfect, or they can be people who are working hard. They are themselves monitoring themselves, aware of their problems, and Allah knows that with their maximum capacity, they are taking care of all the problems that they have. So Allah says, I love you. I am pleased with you. فإذا أحببته كنت إذا سمعه الذي يسمع به. When I love him, I become his ear by which he or she can hear. I become his ear. It's very important. وَبَصَرَهُ الَّذِي يَبْصُرُ بِهِ. I become his eyes by which he can see. If Allah is your ear, then you can understand whatever you hear. You get everything right. If Allah is your eye, you can see everything clearly. You will not be deceived. وَلِسَانَهُ الَّذِي يَنْطِقُ بِهِ. I become his tongue by which he speaks. So he can speak the truth in the best engaging way. وَيَدَهُ الَّتِي يَبْطِشُ بِهَا. I become his hand by which he holds or he attacks. His hand has a special power now. إِن دَعَانِي أَجَبْتُهُ. If he calls me, I would respond. وَإِن سَأَلَنِي أَعْطَيْتُهُ. And if he asks me, I would grant. In the discussion about dua, we have said that dua doesn't necessarily involve request. Dua means to call Allah. Dua can come with mas'ala or without mas'ala. This sentence very much supports this idea. In da'ani, if he calls me, he say, Ya Allah, I say, labbaik, ajabtu. Wa in sa'alani, and if he asks me for something, I grant him.